Microphone should be switched here. Boom, boom, boom. What's good, fam? We're back at it live and direct. Live and direct. I put the starting stream this time, so that just showed up for a lot of y'all, for you guys to get in here when you could see it. At least you could see the start time this time compared to like last time when I just started out of nowhere. So we started like about 20 minutes late here, but I like that better. So I'm just going to make sure every single time I always put a start time for the stream tomorrow, so you guys can always see that shit when it's going to happen. And if I ever need to move it or edit it, I can from there. So yeah, that'll be smooth. All right, so we're pretty much almost done with this Tate interview with PBD. We literally got like 22 minutes left. So we'll finish cooking with this, and then I'll figure out what else I want us to react to. I'll see. If I feel like there's something that's more relevant in terms of interview and just other general stuff, I might start even going over shit that I'd be seeing on X and Twitter and start talking about that shit, because there's so many different things that I feel like would be important for a lot of you guys to know. But anyway, we'll finish this one out and then we'll move from there. So, all right, let's go.
Mm-hmm. He's not going to be safe in Ukraine. I don't think you can let that many of your own people die without having a disgruntled member of the population or an opposing political force deal with you.
Oh yeah, they were talking about Zelensky. When bro was wilding 4 months ago.
Europe can't keep you safe from Russia. That's been proven many times. I think there was a guy in Germany who got assassinated by the FSB relatively recently. They put a bullet in his head, and then he did 3 years in German jail. He had a life sentence, did 3 years before Putin did him in a prisoner swap. I think that was 2021. So Europe can't save you. We know London can't because you get a plutonium sandwich. So only America could have kept him alive when this is all over. So pissing Trump off is an act of desperation and petulance, which he's going to truly regret in the end when this war ends, because I don't know how nice Trump is. I don't know if he's going to sit with Putin and say Zelensky's off limits, because Putin.
Oh, it's funny actually too, because speaking of the whole war that's going on there, Trump is actually supposed to meet with Putin in Dubai, I believe. They're supposed to be in Dubai and probably discuss how they're going to end the war. So that's actually a very good thing, because at least me personally, I don't want niggas to keep dying, or especially Ukrainian soldiers to keep dying in a war that they're never going to win. So it's actually a good thing that they're meeting together. I don't know if the war is obviously going to end, but the fact that Trump's willing to meet with Putin is already just a good sign that it should be, that they're going to be serious talks of it ending. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to see, but yeah.
To say, is he a target? And if Trump says, I don't care, then he has problems all around the globe. Where's he going to go? Where's he going to hide from the Russians?
Did you hear President
Ain't nowhere to hide.
Kier, what he said about Kier? Have you seen the audio?
It was good, right?
Rob, can you pull up that clip? It's interesting. I'm trying to see if Trump is playing diplomacy here.
Yeah, Trump said good things about Kier.
Yeah, he did. If you can play this clip, Rob.
We have an ad.
Okay, so then go to.
Well, I think before we play, I think I know what you're going to say, and I think I know the answer as well. I think I'm guessing. I'm guessing, but we'll see.
Can you skip or you can't? Rob?
I can't skip. It's Daily Mail, so we're pulling straight from their website.
Okay,
5 seconds.
15, but yeah, close.
Okay, who can count?
There's another clip as well where. Just now, I think it happened today, where Kier is up there speaking with Nigel Farage. This just happened today, by the way. Today. Right. About Zelensky and Trump. Go to play this.
I do.
Raise the audio, Rob. Go back a little bit.
He's come over to see me twice. I have a call. He and I have a call over the next 24 hours. Now I get along with him well. I like him a lot. He's liberal, which is a little bit different for me. But I think he's a very good person. I think he's done a very good job thus far. He's very good with the job. But he's represented his country in terms of his philosophy. I may not agree with his philosophy, but I have a very good relationship with him. I've seen him twice. Had dinner with him at Trump Tower, as you probably know.
I mean, he might just be cool people, but his philosophy isn't good for running the country. Is pretty much the point that he's trying to make here. So
he said he had dinner with him in Trump Tower. He said likes him. He goes, he's a liberal.
He says that about a lot of people. Though.
Yeah.
He says that about Putin. He says that about Xi. He says he's got a relationship with all these guys. That's his approach. He wants to keep it safe. Is this the clip of him is saying the words?
Yes.
Go ahead and play it, Rob.
I have been to. I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour. I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mister. I have been.
Do you have the clip of his ambassador, not ambassador, diplomat that's
girl.
there, and she's just shaking?
That's what I was like saying yesterday on at least yesterday's stream. This I just feel like the fact that somebody who's representing another country can come to the U.S. and even act like that is just ridiculous to me, bro. I'm telling you, bro, it just makes you feel like how much the U.S. has fallen, bro. Like, niggas used to be scared of us, bro. Like, niggas used to be deathly scared of us, especially because we run the whole shit with NATO and all that other kind of shit. The fact that any world leader can just pull up on our shit and be talking like that is absolutely ridiculous, bro. It's like, come on now, what the fuck? We're the United States, bro. We're Americans, bro. We should not be letting shit like that slide, just in general. It's just ridiculous to me.
In her head, like,
she knows what's
what
happening.
are you doing, right? The way he was handling it. But does this guy feel protected? Was he instigated? Did people challenge him to do so? This is
if I had to analyze, and once again, I'm guessing, but I can come up with a conclusion. I can guess why I think this happened.
Look at this, shaking her head.
She's like,
I want to see fire because you get a ceasefire faster than
yeah, go for it.
Right. So, firstly, the reason I think Trump's saying good things about Keir is because Keir probably instantly agreed to everything Trump wants. I think Trump's a carrot and stick guy. I think if you turn up and in private he says we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and you go, okay, sir, we'll do X, Y, and Z, then you're a great guy. I can't imagine Keir sat down and argued with him or disagreed with him about anything important. He would have got that answer. So I think that basically Keir bent over and America's going to get the better end of the deal. So for that reason, he gets praise, because praise from Trump is good for your poll figures anywhere, any party, anywhere around the world. It's a good thing. Even liberals like you more if Trump likes you. That's how powerful he is. So what that means is that in their private exchange, Keir gave Trump everything he wants. That's what I believe. As regards to Zelensky, I would argue that he was told by European elites that Trump is against this war and Trump is talking to Putin, and they probably told him.
Well, anybody with sense would be against this war, especially because like the nigga's not going to win the shit, and we're going to spend a bunch of money. We're blowing a bunch of money trying to get them to win a war that they're simply just not going to win. So it's like, come on now.
Trump is a bully, and Trump likes to bully people, and you have to look strong in front of Trump. Don't be afraid of him. If you stand up to a bully, it puts them in their place, and you're the leader of a country now at war, and you have to show them that you're a strong leader. If you add in second language frustration and incompetence, you get a scenario like the one we just saw. So I think Zelensky was hyped up and told to stand up to a bully. You add in the fact he's speaking in his second language and doesn't truly understand English. You add in the fact he's nervous and incompetent. You add in the fact he's likely a drug addict. And you have the train crash we just saw there. That's what I think happened.
Where are you getting the drug addict component?
I have to go back to Romania on March 23rd, and the Ukrainians operate heavily inside of Romania. I don't want to catch a bullet. If I do catch it, it's them. But I think everybody knows he's a cocaine addict.
Really?
Look at
Zelensky. Yeah, there was clips about him on this as well.
He's geeking out all the time.
Yeah,
that's fucking wild.
I mean, it's easy.
It's actually wild for world leaders to be doing any types of drugs. As I said yesterday, bro, you should never be ever doing drugs ever in your life at all, with just under any circumstance. I could just never. I just don't understand it. I understand like when you're like, at least for me, like I pretty much stopped like high school, early college. I pretty much like stopped drinking, and I was never seriously drinking ever. I only ever smoked weed or anything like that. Just like if my homies were kind of doing it around that like high school, college age, and that was pretty much it. I was never really seriously doing any of those things. And I'm so happy that I stopped completely doing those things at all, because I'm like, wow, even doing that shit in the first place. All right, to try it, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Never really done this shit before. So at least back then I was like, okay, let me try this shit. You know what I'm saying? What's smoking like? What's drinking like experience it? What does it feel like to be drunk? Like, at least in my mind, I always knew like, okay, it was never be something that I want to be doing all the fucking time. I knew it was something I wanted to try to just know what it feels like, because I think it's always I think it's never a good idea to judge something before you've really, really experienced it. And actually, this leads me in something important that I actually want to talk about too, is like, if you want real skill and ability, you need to get real experience with something, right? So just like I was kind of explaining just now with the whole, well, I don't really want to judge people who drink or who smoke if I've never done it before, extrapolating this more to like achieving your goals kind of standpoint. Like, you don't want to be somebody who's just sitting and researching and learning about something when you need to actually get good at it. And to actually be learning something, you need to go out and get real experience. Like, for example, let's say you want to get good at sales. You want to be able to gain that skill. Well, you sitting and watching hour-long videos of sales back to back to back is not going to teach you anything about selling. But going out and actually finding something to sell to someone and selling it will, right? In comparison, like the whole 100 of hours that you could spend learning about sales will mean nothing compared to the first 4 minutes of you actually trying to sell something to someone. You will learn more in that first 4 minutes of trying to sell something to someone than you really would learn when you're just watching hour-long videos of shit. Like, watching doesn't teach you anything, right? Learning means you can do something. When you learn, you're able to do something. You're able to do a new action or a new behavior. That means you have learned. Just knowing things or having things in your head doesn't mean you know how to do anything. Nobody cares if you know things. Nobody cares. No one is rewarded for knowing things. People are rewarded for doing things with what they know. So knowledge is only useful if it's being applied. Application is what is valuable, not just knowledge. Nobody cares if you know shit. People only care if you know shit and you can apply it somewhere. Understand? So always make sure you're trying to figure out, how do I just get started with something as soon as possible? When it comes to any skill or any ability, don't be overly concerned about getting a bunch of research and knowledge about it. You should be really getting concerned with, how do I start getting practice with this ability or a skill that I'm trying to learn as soon as possible, right? Because this isn't about just general knowledge here. Even when you're gathering knowledge, it's like, I want to have this knowledge so I can do something with it, not just so I know it. Nobody, like I said before, nobody cares if you know things, right? You want to be able to just jump into something so you can get real skill and ability from real experience. You should be an actor, right? It's not about thinking. Life is not about thinking and knowing things. It's about acting and doing things and applying things, right? So you'll learn more in the first 4 minutes of taking action on something than you will watching hours and hours of content about it. So just jump right into shit, bro. You don't have time to be sitting here and just trying to learn about it. You need to take action. So let's keep it cooking. It's just an important note there, because a lot of guys overrate just knowing things. Oh, I know this and that and whatever. I'm like, well, if you can't really apply it anywhere, who actually gives a fuck?
Cocaine addicted. You're hiding in the bunker. There's a contingent of your own country who want you dead.
Oh, and I even remember what I just related all this shit from. Was like, yeah, the fact that, political leaders and politicians would be like doing drugs and doing all this crazy shit. I'm like, bruh, these niggas be leading our country and these niggas are on drugs. Like, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Are we a serious country? I know this happens with all politicians kind of everywhere in all countries. It's just like, it's just so unfortunate to think that people who are your government officials, who are supposed to be creating and building policies that are going to benefit the entire country, are out here doing drugs. It's like, what the fuck? I would be so fucking mad, bro. I'd be so, like, that makes me so fucking angry. It's like, these people are supposed to be leading our country and they're out here doing drugs. Come on now.
Russians want you dead. Now the Americans want you dead. The Europeans are promising you things, but the Europeans are femme-centric. The Europeans are run by women. And when I say run by women,
we also are run by women, but it's unfortunate.
I get this confused often. I often say that this is femininity that is destroying it. Europe is run by femininity. And when I say that, they'll say, Keir's not a woman. No, but he's not a man, is he? When I'm talking about women, I'm talking about the female mindset versus the masculine mindset. And feminism and the European state, they always say, we don't hate men. Look, Keir's a man, but he's not masculine. They hate men who act masculine. Yeah. They like the men who act like girls because they're eunuchs. They like the eunuchs and the girls. They don't like the real masculine men. Yeah. And there's not a single leader in Europe which is a masculine man. Europe is a feminine continent. And the problem with femininity as a whole,
in a crazy way, bro,
as their emotions change, their obligations change. It's the masculine imperative to make a promise and make a pact. And even if your emotions change, you stick to your word. That is masculine. Female is, I love you so much right now. I'll never do everything for you. I'll die for you because I love you. As soon as she stops loving you, everything's out the window. Nothing matters. Her words don't matter. All that matters are her feelings. The problem that Zelensky has now is his allies are women, which means right now they feel like helping him, which means they'll make him a whole bunch of promises. They mean what they say. They're not lying. They mean it right now. But when their feelings change, everything changes. Before you know it, he's in an apartment in Berlin, hiding from the FSB. He's going to catch a bullet, and he knows it. And that's why he's under pressure. That's why he's reacting.
Like this is true too, though. To be honest, though, like as men, that's why, like, think about it. Like a lot of these different things, like honorability and integrity, these are masculine traits. We don't apply these things to women at all. We don't say, "Oh, a woman is honorable" or "A woman has integrity," right? You never think that to yourself. You always apply that to like a man when you're thinking about that shit, because that's how we are, right? I mean, I've talked about this a little bit in a few streams back, but when I was talking about the idea that it's always about, what has this man done? What have I committed to? Like a man is based on his word and his commitments and what he says he is committed to, right? we only apply the ability to change your behavior or how you feel or how you act to women, but we don't apply it to men like that. You know, if you're a man and you say, I'm willing to die behind this particular thing, you're willing to die behind that particular thing, period. Because you said it, you know, and we're going to hold you to your word. You know, because essentially if you aren't held to your word, what does that mean to us? We treat you like a woman. We think we're going to view you as a woman. You know, we're going to view you as inferior, because men are the ones who stick to their word, and we value that way. We're going to look at you as a woman if basically you say one thing, but you act another way, because that's what women do. They say one thing, but they act a completely different way. But for men, what we say and do are exactly the same. I talked about this also too, in a little short form video I made yesterday, but I also think it's just important to reiterate here right now. So positive affirmations are absolutely stupid, because men are based off action, not words. Women are based off words. Women benefit from telling themselves that they're beautiful, that they're great, or whatever. This is why that's just a female mindset in general, to just tell yourself you already are whatever you need to be. Because as men, we have to earn our value in life. We have to be useful to be loved and appreciated, right? It's not like people care about you immediately when you're a man, when you're born. Nobody gives a fuck about you. Nobody's hitting you up. Nobody wants to do anything with you at all, because you're not capable yet. You don't have skill and ability. You're not useful to the world yet. So naturally, you're not valuable. So nobody's hitting you up. Compared to a woman if you take a woman who's 18, right? She's already valuable. People already care about her, love her, want to talk to her, whatever. Say she's beautiful or she's great or she's amazing or whatever. They'll say all these things to her. But for men, we fundamentally understand pretty much from birth that no, we have to perform in order to be loved and be useful. So this already teaches us from a young age that positive affirmation shit doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work, because we're told, hey, you actually have to get everything out of the mud. So as a man, no, you should never be positively affirming yourself. That's fucking stupid, bro. You shouldn't be like, I'm great, I'm loved, because you're fucking not. And you'd basically be lying to yourself. Only women can get away with that nonsense, because they're inherently valuable, because they can have children, you know, at a younger age. And that's what we value women for. So that's why the positive affirmations of telling themselves that they're beautiful, they look good or whatever works for them. For us, no, nigga, we got to get that shit out of the mud, right? As men, we value action above all else. We're not over here trying to tell ourselves that we're greater or whatever, because we understand that, no, we actually have a burden of performance, or we're forced to understand that we have a burden of performance, right? So you should never be sitting here trying to validate yourself into believing in your capability. No, action rules all for men. If you want self-belief, if you want to respect yourself, if you want to trust yourself, you must work for these things. You do not get to have these things. Well, how do I work for trusting in myself? How do I work for respecting myself? How do I work for believing in myself? Through your actions. You need to take action. You have things in your life that you want to achieve. You have your ambitions, or why else would you be watching me? You have your ambitions or your goals that you're trying to achieve. And the only way you're going to have your belief for yourself to achieve these goals, the only way you're going to have the trust in yourself to achieve these goals, and the only way you're going to have a lot of respect for yourself, is if you prove yourself to yourself through your actions. Because what happens when you take action? Well, you're going to see evidence of who you are, right? Because the evidence doesn't go away. It is what it is. Once you take action and results start to come, or progress starts to come, it's there. You can't lie to yourself. You can't gaslight yourself into believing that you are something that you're not, when you're like, look at what I've done. I've just done the shit. So I know who I am. And it's from knowing that you then get to affirm yourself. We affirm ourselves through our actions. When we see ourselves doing things and making progress, then we affirm ourselves. We're like, damn, I'm fucking tough. I'm fucking cold. Not because we just think that shit, but because we did something, you know? So if you want to have that self-belief, if you want to have those positive affirmations for yourself, then what you have to do, you have to take action. Because action leads to evidence. Evidence leads to certainty and ability. And certainty leads to confidence and self-belief and trusting yourself, right? So action rules all for us, guys. Not words. Actions rule all for us as men. So, all right, let's keep it going. That's just one thing I was just thinking of already. I was like, damn. Because somebody like asked me that on Instagram yesterday. So I was like, bro, we're men, bro. We don't positively affirm ourselves. We prove ourselves through our words and our actions. And also this kind of like extended from the idea that like traits like honor and integrity and shit like that, that's male centric. We don't apply these traits to women, because women are fickle. They'll say one thing and act another way, or they'll change their behavior based off how their emotions are. They're not ever considering or thinking, well, what happened in the past, or look at all the things that have already been done that were okay. It's just like, if you're not useful to me now, from in terms of a relationship between a woman and man, she's looking at you like, what have you done for me now? Not what you've done for her for years, months, or however long you've been with her. It's always about, what are you doing for me right now? But men, we're not like that. We're always weighing shit in terms of, what has this guy that I'm working with or I've been by the side of done for me? And no matter if in this moment, maybe he's fucking around or he's not doing right things for me right now, or he's moving in a way I don't really fuck with, I'm still not going to like disown him or never fuck with him again. Cause I'm like, bro, me and this guy have an insane track record though. And we have done a lot of things together. So I'm not going to like disrespect him like that. That's just how we weigh things. Like, women, they don't care about how much you've done for them. For men, we always weigh those things. So.
Like he did. Only the Americans could have negotiated and bargained for his safety.
Wait, you're saying Macron is not masculine? I just want to put. I mean,
yeah.
But I think we should get Candace on here and confirm if he is married to his
Candace.
Candace.
She's getting closer.
Yeah, she's getting closer. She's doing great.
Yeah, she's been doing some shit about that. I think she even got sued. Candace Owens. I'm pretty sure that she got sued. She's actually getting sued for trying to prove that Macron is transgender or was born a man. I don't know why she's so obsessed with the shit, but she fuck with it, I guess. Like,
she's doing great.
It's amazing. But this is very important that we
Brigitte Macron.
Well, let's understand this, right? Let's understand this. Europe is femme-centric, run by women. The men are effectively women. There is no masculine man inside of the
hence why Europe is falling, because women can't be leaders. Like, they can't.
Entire European elite.
In fact, that's also another thing I'm gonna talk about too, bro. I'm telling you, this shit just come to my mind. I just love cooking all these things. So a lot of men might have the idea in their head that leadership is about just telling people what to do. Like, a lot of us, when we see it, just generally in media or whatever, when we look at leadership, or when we think about it in an disingenuous way, when we look at it in a way that we're like choosing not to get the point, we just see leadership as somebody who's pointing fingers and saying, do this, do that, do this, do that, like a dictator almost, like just do all these different things. But that's misunderstanding what leadership actually is. Leadership is being willing to take on the most pain and suffering on behalf of other people. Because think about it, when you're a leader. When you're a leader, you're not only thinking about your own well-being and your own capabilities and your own control over certain situations. You're also thinking about how this affects everybody else as well. When you're a leader, it means that you have to care about yourself and everybody else all at the same time. Compared to when you're not a leader, you just care about yourself and are concerned with what a leader above you tells you to do, right? But when you're a leader, you have to care about everybody else, meaning you're taking on more pain and suffering than anybody else. You can see everything that everybody else can't see, right? If I just give you one task and one role as a leader, you just have to do that one task and one role correctly. But as a leader, I'm doing that with not only you, but him and him and him and him and her and him and him. So now I'm concerned about all these different people while also making sure that I am on the ball. And I have nobody to go to for my problems and issues that I'm dealing with when I'm in a leadership position. Like, when you're in a leadership position, you don't get to go to anybody else for your problems. You have to fix them yourself because you're the leader. But on the other hand, everyone else comes to their who does everybody else go to when they have problems? You. So not only do you have to be taking care of yourself and your own capabilities and abilities, you have to take care of your own problems while also taking care of everybody else's problems at the same time. All at the same time. That's really what it means to be a good leader. You take on more suffering than everybody else to make sure everybody else doesn't have to suffer, so they can focus on doing the one or two few things that you need them to do. That's what good leaders do. Good leaders are willing to sacrifice more than everybody else. That's what makes a good leader. That's what makes a good leader. A lot of people just have this. A lot of people see bad leaders. They see leaders who are complaining about people under them. You see this in any sector of anything, whether you're on a sports team or whether you see it, on a job site for whatever job you have as an employee, and you're seeing the way the boss acts. A lot of people see bad leaders, like leaders who are complaining all the time, crying, being annoying, blaming people or whatever, pointing fingers, telling people what to do, having this like almost tyrant mentality when it comes to telling people what to do. But nah, good leaders are just willing to take on more pain than anybody else. That's what a good leader honestly looks like. The best leaders are always willing to take on the most pain and suffering. So you as a man, if you want to be a leader in your own life, if you want to be a leader of your future family, if you want to be a leader on your job site, if you just want to be a leader of anyone in general, it's not about, oh, I get to tell everybody what to do. No, you should think about it. I get to take care of everybody else's problems so they don't have to take care of their own. And they can focus on doing what they need to do to be able to perform. When you're a good leader, you're getting the most out of the people that you lead, because you are solving the problems for the people that you lead, while also solving your own problems and not bringing your problems to them, because you're the leader, you're the boss, And when you view things that way, it makes you a lot better of a leader, and also makes you a lot stronger, because the only way that we grow is through what? Through pain and suffering. And if you learn how to solve your own problems while also solving the problems of other people, it makes you an incredible leader. Now nobody has to worry about anything. That's the truth. That's what everybody wants out of a leader. Let's be honest. If a good leader, even think about it for yourself when somebody's leading you. You would love to have a leader who's not coming to you with any problems, not complaining about you, not doing any of these kind of things, but it's just telling you, hey, do this because it's important. Do this and I'll take care of the rest of this. Do this and I'll take care of the rest of this. You want a leader like that. Wouldn't you not? You'd want a man who's treating you like that, right? You want to be able to look up to someone like that. That's what a good leader looks like. So just make sure when it comes to leadership, if you want to be a leader in your own life, think about it. Not I want to point fingers, but I want to take on everybody else's pain to ensure that we all can succeed. So, yeah, man, it's my little spiel on leadership. All right, let's keep it going, man.
Europe is women. Do you know what is a strong patriarchy with a masculine influence? America. Do you know another one? Russia. If America and Russia ally against...
Well, I mean, not really, not anymore. We're super, bro, we're completely and utterly controlled by women, bro. The fact that something like the T-app can exist and be fine just goes to show how much we are controlled by women. The fact that the T-app can exist. And for those of you that don't know, that the T-app is basically this app where women can talk about men that they have issues with in dating, like men that they're dating. Let's say these girls are finding dudes on Tinder or whatever. They can basically hop on this app, post a picture of a dude without his knowledge, without his consent, post a picture and be talking about him. Like, the fact that an app like that can exist and be completely fine and it's not banned and there's no problems with it goes to show that we actually live in a female social order. Of course, the men are all the ones that are still, have all the muscle that enforce all the laws. Obviously, men are the ones who run the police force, who run the military, who for the most part run the government, right? But the thing is, we always prioritize female thinking from a social standpoint. We're never going to do anything socially that may undermine women's intentions or women's desires. We'll go in and out of our way to let women do whatever they want. Hence why something like the T-app can exist. Like, you guys not understand how crazy that is? There's literally an app where women can complain about a random dude without his consent or knowledge. They could basically slander a dude. Basically, it's like mini defamation. Very mini defamation, where basically a girl can post a picture of a random dude that they dealt with. And then all these girls will talk shit about the dude. And it could be girls that have no clue who the dude is. They'll just be formulating opinions on this guy. And this guy can get his reputation ruined without his knowledge in his city or wherever he's at, without his knowledge. And we're just okay with it. Nobody has a problem. Now imagine the reverse happened. There would be fucking Armageddon. The app wouldn't even be able to fucking exist. If there was an app where basically a bunch of dudes could get together and then we talk about all these different women. We post pictures without their consent. They have no knowledge whatsoever. And then we put them all onto an app. Do you think that app would be able to exist, my niggas? Fuck no. It'd be impossible for some shit like that to exist. And the fact that you even have that feeling, or we understand that some shit like that would be crazy from the male perspective, just goes to show how much of a female social order we're in terms of what is acceptable socially. So it's like we completely prioritize women's desires, the feminine desire. Yes, we're masculine in the sense of our ability to use force. Men still apply all the force, but we're 100% controlled by women for sure. So I would not say we're more masculine, right? We're pretty much becoming as feminine as Europe is. We just have bigger guns than Europe does, bro. So the other nations, it's not like they want to fuck with us because we could just still blow them to hell. It's just like we're still controlled by women, though, for sure.
It's Europe. They are crushed economically, energetically, militarily. They are crushed completely. And they're sitting there like petulant females, refusing to accept the reality that there's too strong.
They have to, because we're strong. Like, we can still fuck niggas up with our weapons. We're still a female social order, but we could fuck niggas up with their weapons. Europe cooked, bruh. Like I was saying earlier before, we pay all the money to NATO. We are NATO's military. We are NATO. All the other nations are honestly a fucking non-factor. They're just placeholders for where we can basically put weapons. That's literally what NATO is. It's just, hey, can we just put our weapons that we're going to use to fight anyone that's actually a threat in your country? And they're like, yeah, these niggas are not going to help us fight no fucking war. This is why the way Tate's describing is like Europe is basically, they're just pussies. They just sit there and don't do anything because they don't have any weapons. Yeah, because they're not the ones who are going to have to defend themselves if we actually get into a world war. We're going to be defending everyone because we're the strongest nation. So it's just funny when you think about it.
Men on either side that are tired of their shit, and it's time to shut up and listen. So we're going to see if Europe comes to its senses and gets lockstep in line with Trump's imperatives.
So it's almost like in a way like Europe is acting like how women is like a macro version of what a micro woman would look like. I mean, and what I mean by that is like basically Europe is demonstrating how the average woman will operate. Like a woman will be stepping out of line, acting crazy, pretty much how most Western women are acting right now. They'll be acting crazy, and we're like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And unfortunately, they continue to act crazy because most men are not masculine. Most men are not putting their foot down on shit at all. You know what I'm saying? At least in this situation, Trump was pushing back a lot more on Zelensky. Like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing coming up in the Oval Office talking shit to me, bro? We run your shit. We are your military. You guys are just killing your people and you're using our weapons. We're literally like, if we took away all our weapons from y'all niggas, it'd just be cooked. They would take you guys over in like a fucking day and like that'd just be it. So it's just like Europe is just like a little girl or a girl that you need to put in place because she's doing dumb shit or pissing you off. Unfortunately, Trump's not going to do shit like that to Netanyahu, unfortunately, because we're still currently owned. Shit is definitely going to get better in the future. I'm really hyped for that shit, but yeah.
Argue that Keir's done exactly that. Keir sat down in private when he didn't have to act like a tough guy because he wants to be a tough guy because you know that woman who gets in your face, hit me, that's all them. They're all little girls. Keir, soy face, run his mouth publicly, said Trump's bad before the election publicly. Then he sits down with Trump privately. We don't know what's said. Trump leaves and goes, yeah, I like Keir. He's a good guy. I guarantee you it's because Keir's like, sorry, Mr. Trump, what should I say?
Well, that's politics number 101, though. That's just how it is in politics that I've just noticed. Like, especially whether you're a commentator in politics or whether you're a politician, you always just be switching up. Once you've been in the game long enough, you eventually going to switch up. You know? I understand why people don't like niggas switching up like that, of course. But I do think it's important for your opinions on people to be able to evolve. I think that is important. You know? Naturally, your mind and your perspectives on life should continue to be growing, or you're stalling. You're dying. You know? This is why a lot of boomers have no fucking clue what's going on with Gen Zs. Like, back then, boomers, you know, it's crazy. Like, back then, boomers were able to, like, buy houses, you know, in their 20s or whatever, off whatever job that they had at the time. They were able to actually buy a house. But, like, the average Gen Zer, like, we can't buy a house. We'd be living with our parents. Like, more than half of us are living with our parents if you're in Gen Z. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what does that tell you? That everything has gotten a lot more expensive. And then the boomers will look at the Gen Zers like, y'all just need to work harder. I'm like, no, you guys actually created these circumstances. So this is the situation that we're in. You know, obviously you never complain about your circumstance. You just use your circumstances as an opportunity to get smarter and grow. Winning in life is not about resources. It's about being resourceful. But the fact that a lot of boomers are disingenuous is because their perspectives and beliefs and what they see in the world has stopped changing. They just have their way of thinking or their way of seeing things, and it hasn't really changed at all. So it's kind of a situation where it's just funny to me, basically. It's just funny to me that people really don't like people switching up on people, but I don't think changing your opinions on how you feel about a particular person is really switching up, because if you just learn more about people, you tend to change your opinions on them. So I think it's fine. So I just think it's natural in politics, though. I mean, some politicians are just kind of doing it just to save face because they're keeping brands, though. So I do understand it from that perspective. But I just think in general, I don't think it's completely horrible when somebody changes their opinion on someone. Like, if I ever see somebody like change their opinion on somebody after years or whatever, I'm not always thinking like, oh, they're just snaking. They're always trying to just, you know, now it's just because it benefits them to say that they like a person, they're saying it, which is possibly true. But I think sometimes, too, if you just learn more about somebody, like, you're going to be able to change your opinion on how you feel about them. You know, there's definitely people that I've disliked or hated in the past, and then I learned a little bit more about them, and I was like, you know what, they're actually not that bad. Once you actually sit and learn why they think what they think, or how they move what they move, or the way that they decide to move. And this just happens to a lot of people in general. So switching up isn't always bad. Is basically what my point is.
Sign. Sorry, Mr. Trump. Sign whatever Trump wanted. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got that accolade from Trump himself. And all of these people are going to end up bending over to Trump in the end.
And the strongest leader of these European countries is actually a woman, Giorgia Meloni in Italy.
It's incredible.
Which is
That's
wild.
why Europe's collapsing, because there's no masculine imperative.
See how cooked that is? Like, you literally need a woman running your country to be basically giving more pro-masculine type of rhetoric. Like, you're cooked, bro. What the fuck is going on there? Like, literally.
At least
Masculine
Canada
is the defenders.
At least Canada has a real man like Justin Trudeau. I mean,
wasn't he voted out? Why is he still on TV?
I don't know.
Why is he still
a male
around? Wasn't he
feminist.
gone? I don't know if he's gone.
They're
but,
waiting on a election.
You know, again, I don't know the ins and outs of the economics, but when Trump imposed tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and they instantly folded and did whatever he wanted behind the scenes to get the tariffs removed, absolute gangster.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't remember the name of the conservative leader of Canada, Pierre, whatever.
Pierre,
his name is.
Pierre.
But when all these people,
I think we're still fighting with China on that tariff shit, though. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're still fighting with China on that tariff shit, though. I mean, I'll research and know for sure. Let me see. Are we still battling with China with tariffs? Because those are the only niggas that I know. So I'll just search U.S. for China tariffs. Let me see. No, let me actually do it. Okay, our U.S. Hold on, y'all. I know y'all can't see what I'm typing, but I'm gonna show you in a second. Still. Yeah, so the tariff war is still going on. I'm not gonna bore you guys with a ton of economics here, but we still have a tariff war going on. Here, I'll just show you guys so you guys can see it. So we still got that shit going on. That's what it's like right here. So it's been going literally since today, or it's still in effect through today. Oh, I forgot to even put my shit up, like chat and all that. My bad. Okay. Yeah, so it's still going. The current average U.S. tariff on China's exports stands at 54.9% and covers 100% of goods. Wow. Yeah, so we're still fighting them with it. So, but what I've also noticed, like when it comes to economics is always like the one political like talking point that nobody ever understands, because when it comes to just business and money in general, like it's hard to know the results of a certain decision that you'll make financially instantly, because sometimes you might lose a lot of money before you make a lot of money. When it comes to even when you're just doing tariffs and taxing people's goods, like whether or not it's good for the economy, it's always hard to tell. I mean, every president, whoever gets elected, if the economy is going good, they're going to take responsibility. So, oh, it's good because of me, and if any economy is ever bad and you're a president, you're going to be like, oh, it's because of the previous president. Like the economy thing is just always such a blame game thing, because like I said, money, whether you made a good decision financially, is usually going to be it's going to be in the long term that you actually see the effects of it. Like you're not going to make, just like, for example, let's say you started saving money and you started saving money today. Like you would still be broke today, but you made the right decision to start saving money today. For an example, like if you had no money, you started saving some money, right? You don't have money today. You're still broke today because you just started saving money today, but you made the right decision of saving money today. And if you just kept saving, not saying this is not financial advice, you should be saving to get rich. Do not do that dumb shit. But what I'm basically trying to say here is, though, that if you started saving today and you kept saving for the next 10 years, for example, you'd probably have a lot of money. But back then, when you made the decision to start saving when you were broke, it might not have looked like the best idea ever because you were still broke from the outside looking in. So when a lot of people look at the economy and try to use an economic talking point for why a president was good or bad, I just always kind of find it very funny, because it's like the president that's probably in is dealing with whatever economic decisions the president from 2 terms ago made, rather than, oh, I'm in now and that's what's causing this economic boom. Sometimes it can be like that. It's just rare. Money is not, the economy doing well or bad is not always a very fast thing. It's never something that can happen very quickly. It's rare for it to happen quickly. You know, the president who's in power would have to make particular decisions that improves things a lot. Because even with this whole tariff war, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head that the U.S. was losing a lot of money, and everyone's saying, "Oh my God, this is bad." But in the long term, it could actually help us out. But it always depends. That's why, like, when the conversation is about economics, when it comes to people talking about, oh, is the president good or bad? I was like, nigga, you guys, nobody fucking understands economics to a deep enough degree to really judge it as a way to judge between presidents. So, yeah. There's just a bunch of other things that are like easier to dictate who made a good or bad decision.
People start trying to talk tough about Canada and all this crap. You guys need to, they really secretly know the deal, because if they really piss Trump off, they're going to get hit with these tariffs and get wrecked. So in public, what did I say earlier of that?
It's only really the broke countries that be getting fucked up by tariffs too. Just like with China, our tariff war with China is like, bro, them niggas produce so much material and so many goods and make so much money because they're producing so much material and goods that it's like, bro, a tariff war with them will just last forever. But like for a broke country, if we put tariffs on them dumbasses, it's like, nigga, okay. Of course they're like, oh, what the fuck? Please stop. You know?
Billionaire can lie. In public, they stand up. Canada will never be the 51st state. We're proud Canadians.
That's why even in Iran right now, one of the biggest reasons why parties are split in Iran is because niggas want to fuck with the U.S. because when you fuck with the U.S., you don't get hit with so many sanctions. Or listen to the U.S., you don't get hit with so many sanctions. But the other parties like, nah, we don't really fuck with U.S. We kind of see them as the enemy because of Israel. But that's why when it even just comes to the whole like tariff situation or whatever, it's like, unless you're really competing with the country financially, it always sucks when you're doing a tariff war with somebody. It's like, okay, if you're a way broker than the other country, then it's just going to suck. But if you're anywhere near relative, it just becomes like, all right, this could be a good or bad decision. Anyway.
We're going to fight against them. Next day, Trump takes the tariffs off. Why? Is it because of the little stupid speech you made on Canadian TV that no one watches? Or is it because you called Trump and said, hi, Mr. Trump, what do you want me to do, Mr. Trump? Okay, I'll fix it, Mr. Trump. Fix the border, Mr. Trump. Sorry, Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
Billionaires can lie. That's what they do. They stand up and say one thing, and they secretly do another. That's our politics as a whole, all in Europe, all these countries. Every single time you see a leader talk bad about Trump, if they're not currently getting wrecked, I guarantee you in private, they're licking his ass. Every single one of them. Guaranteed. Any one of them who's talking bad about Trump in public and in private is fucked, and they know it. So they just want to be the tough guy on TV, and the second the phone call's private, like Keir, he's like, I like Keir. Keir's all right. He's liberal, but he's all right. I like his vision. Of course you do. He signed the fucking contract. Of course you bent over. Of course you do. Fucking Keir. What's Keir going to do to Trump?
The game is always really played behind the scenes for sure. And that's just the annoying thing about politics, why you can never trust politicians at all. The game is always played behind the scenes. Unfortunately. And this is just why behavior always matters more than words. Because if you want to know the truth about somebody, you always have to look at the way they behave. Everybody can say anything or whatever, but like how you behave is how you know who somebody is. Always. You know? People tend to apply this a lot to women, but it just applies to anyone. Because anyone can have different incentives and motivations. So how somebody behaves really shows who they are.
Sit there and what? What's he going to say? No? Fuck off. Can't say no. He can't even fucking put a border up. He can't even say no to migrants. He's going to say no to fucking Trump. He can't even say no to a third world nobody without a passport. He's going to say no to fucking President Trump? Fuck no. Trump has every single one of these clowns exactly where they belong. All of them. All of them. And Zelensky.
Well, I mean, even if we laid it all out and really looked at it clearly, like, it's just because we're stronger than them militarily. Like, the European nations don't matter. Like, I'm telling you, when it comes to the world stage, when I look at a lot of these different things, it's like, who are the strongest countries militarily, right? We're looking at Russia. We're looking at U.S. for the most part. Those are the two strongest ones. Everybody else is honestly irrelevant. It's just like, who is using who to put weapons where? Like, when it comes to like just foreign shit in general, in terms of the way the landscape really looks, it's just like, who is allied with the U.S., who is kind of allied with Russia for the most part. China's pretty strong too, and North Korea got nukes too, so they're there as well. but like pretty much it's just like who is siding with who. Where can the U.S. put their weapons? Where can Russia put their weapons? Where can China put their weapons? Where, you know what I'm saying? Like that's really where the game lies. So European leaders saying literally anything about anything doesn't fucking matter. It's like, could you beat us up? Could you beat the U.S. up? No. Okay, so your words don't matter because we could just blow you to hell. Honestly speaking, you know, because violence actually rules all, y'all. All this talking and whatever does not fucking matter because at the end of the day, if we wanted to destroy all of Europe tomorrow, we could. Yes, there'd be natural consequences for that. So we're not doing that shit. My point that I'm trying to make here is that what we say goes, right? And on the other end of this, from Russia's perspective, and in terms of who their allies are, I think Belarus is the only ally Russia actually has. Who are Russia's allies? I think it's like Belarus or something. Well, China too. Well, yeah, China too. That's true. Oh yeah, wow, I was actually right. Wow. I'm slowly but surely increasing my, you know, or I have to, you know what I'm saying, so I can be smarter, so I can tell you guys more important shit. I'm slowly but surely having to increase my, you know, foreign policy knowledge. So yeah, their biggest allies are naturally China. So China, Belarus, because they used it for Kazakhstan. Wow, I didn't know that. So I'm learning actually here right now. And they actually fuck with some Latin American countries. Nicaragua, it's a steadfast political and military partner. Venezuela, key strategic partner in Latin America. And then Cuba. Yeah, Cuba's, yeah, with the Cuba missile crisis and all that shit back then. And Serbia. Wow, I didn't even actually know that. Serbia, they're cool. And India, Iran, North Korea, which makes sense. Yeah, so they're all fucking with each other while, you know. Oh, they didn't even add, Czechoslovakia back then. Because then they split, and I think the split was Czech Republic, something else, and something else. What did they even split into? Okay, what did Czech? Hold on, spelling this word is wild, y'all. Wait, so what did split into? So Czechoslovakia. It switched tabs, by the way. Oh, it was just Czech Republic and Slovakia. That's what it split into. Yeah, that makes sense. I knew that. Well, I knew that for sure now. But yeah, this is all their allies. So decent amount. And they fuck with India and Iran and North Korea, naturally. So, all right, we keep going, though. But yeah, like we just fuck any other country up. So we're not even worried about what these other fucking countries are doing, my nigga. Like even our allies, we're not even taking them seriously. Same thing like how like China and Russia have the other allies with Kazakhstan and Belarus and all the other shit. Well, Russia mainly for Belarus, but it's the same thing. It's like the only niggas that really matter in this game, or we should be concerned about their movements, is really just like China and Russia. In terms of as Americans, those are the only. Well, North Korea too. Like those are the only ones. What Europe says about us, it's just like a bitch out of line. It's like, bitch, stop doing that shit. So.
He made a fucking huge mistake listening to clowns, which are not only incapable of keeping him safe, but are going to instantly reverse and renege on their obligations.
Oh, hell yeah.
Feelings and sentiments change. All of them. So I don't know what the fuck he's going to do. Besides put a bullet in me when I go back to Romania. Jesus. That's about it.
Do you have any plans of ever interviewing Trump?
I think that would be a very interesting conversation. I'd love to talk to Trump. I mean, I really do think, I know everyone says he's a great president, but, you know, even when he said he thinks of things I don't often think of, and that's really unusual for me because I like to think I think of everything. But when he sat down with Ukraine, he's like, no, I want $500 billion. Not only do I want to end the war, I want my money back with interest. That wouldn't have crossed my mind.
We're never getting that money back. That's just the business side of him, bro. He's just used to doing that shit, bro. We ain't getting it. What the fuck? These things broke. We ain't getting that shit back, bro.
Be honest. If I was president, I would have tried to fix the war. I would have thought it's a war-torn country, fix the war. I wouldn't have been like, yeah, fix the war plus pay me.
Mineral deal.
He is the gangster.
Because we lost so much fucking money, but the problem is just like these niggas are not giving us our money back, bro. So
he is a G. Trump.
Just hopefully when these niggas go and talk, Putin and Trump go talk in Dubai, the war is gonna end. But we're not, even if it does end, bro, we're not getting our fucking money back, bro.
Is exactly the leader America needs, and I am praying truthfully praying that Vance is next. We can't go back. Gentlemen, everyone watching this show, there's a lot of people that feel euphoric because Trump has won, and they feel like the woke mind virus is gone and our enemies are gone. No, our enemies are plotting in the shadows.
Naturally.
Our enemies are still using the judicial system and the judges to slow Trump down. Our enemies are still using the media to attack anybody with massive influence, myself, Trump, Elon, etc. Our enemies are still subverting white people into believing that their own race should go extinct via migration. Our enemies.
But that's the thing with JD Vance too, because he literally has an Indian wife. Not to say, hey man, I have personally nothing against interracial marriages personally, but if I was a white person and I saw that, you know, a potentially next president that we'd have, you know, for the Republican Party would be a guy who's literally married to an Indian woman, I would have issues with that. You know, and I'd be like, are you really pro-white? Where's your white wife and your white babies? I'm just saying, like, it really gets that deep though. You know, somebody who's really going to represent America first, like, it's important for him to not have any relations outside of the U.S., you know, because his wife has very strong, you know, India connections. Like, that's just what it is. So even if, as a white person, I would still kind of be worried about that. Like, if I was white, I'd be like, I ain't really fucking with that. That doesn't really feel America first enough for me. So
still exist, and they're preparing for a counterattack in 3.5 years from now. And if we ever let them win again,
I am very interested to see how the Democrats are really going to regroup in the next, like, in 2028. It's really going to be interesting how they regroup, because young niggas are not fucking with them anymore. Like, young men and just men in general overall do not fuck with them niggas. And I ain't counting because any dude that's a Democrat nowadays is not a dude. Like, let's be real. Any dude that is a Democrat or a liberal is not a dude. This is not a man. This is a girl, basically. It's just a girl. It's just a girl in a man's body that is still a Democrat and or a liberal anymore. So all the actual masculine men are not liberals anymore. So it's really going to be interesting to see what way that the Democrats are going to campaign in 2028. I mean, it's going to have to just be women-centric. It's the only way, because they're not going to get men back. Men do not give a fuck. Like, they can't try to hide how they really feel about masculine men. It goes against everything that they believe to want masculine men a part of their party or whatever. So I would be so fucking surprised if these niggas somehow win in 2028. That'd be fucking ridiculous, bro. But I'm actually let him finish what he's about to say about them niggas.
These people win again, it is over for Western society as we know it. It's over for democracy, and it's over for humanity. It is our job for these next 4 years not to sit around being happy and euphoric that Trump's president, but to once and for all crush the woke mind virus.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, like, nigga, ain't shit even sweet, bro. We're not even cooking yet, bro. This is what I was even saying, like, there just needs to be a new right wing just in general, because the conservatives are still holding on to ideas that are just fucked. I think I also even said a few streams ago, bro, like, if you're just not red pilled on women, and which a lot of these conservative commentators are not, because they been married for so fucking long. Like, I can't take you seriously in terms of your political opinions. Like, letting women having opinion shit and being cool with that and, like, rating that at all and marrying these hoes, like, bro, I can't take you seriously at all. So
crush George Soros, destroy his NGOs, and get rid of these people. And I want to make something clear. At this point, after learning the UK Foreign Office destroyed my life simply because I talk online, after learning that the liar who started all these accusations accused 7 other men of the exact same crimes, and she is being funded legally in her defamation suit by a George Soros-funded NGO. When I understand that it's George Soros and the liberal left and their media machine convincing people at home I'm a bad person when I'm not, I have personal vested interest in destroying the woke mind virus like anybody else.
Of course.
I am truthfully the best command.
Yeah, if these niggas will ever send me to jail for some shit like that, yeah, I would not rest, bro. Everybody going to jail. I'm destroying everything. Like, because that is, bro, getting sent to jail for 2 fucking years over some shit you just said on the internet. 2 fucking years over some shit you said on the internet, because bro has not been convicted of a crime. You just imagine, bro, you said some shit on the internet. One-off things too. It's not even like you were saying anything directed at anybody or whatever. You were just saying one-off things about women specifically or whatever. And then suddenly niggas are like, we think you may have human trafficked someone, so you got to go to jail for 2 years. You have not like, you going to jail real quick. We'll get you out of here in a day or tomorrow or whatever. 2 years straight, you are in a jail cell because of some shit you said Fuck no. Everybody got to die the minute I come out, bro. It's over with. Not actually die, but I mean, somebody gonna have to pay for this shit, bro. Like,
that the conservative side, that Trump himself could possibly ask for. You tell me what you want me to do, sir. I'm ready. Because I have been at the end of these people. I've felt the true fire that these people can inflict on a human. They've truly hurt me in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
so I am ready to go full. I'm getting emotional because I am, because what they can do to somebody like me, at least I had financial resource. At least I had media outlets. Imagine I was a normal person with normal money. Imagine nobody listened to me. The wrap-up smear would have had me done in 2 days. I would have been bankrupt and in jail in 2 days, done. No.
It's funny because it's like when I think about it, because he's talking about what if it happened to a dude that didn't have any money, and then I just immediately think of like Nick Fuentes, who obviously is a completely different situation because he was just speaking out against the Zionist lobby and just Israel in general. But like he was basically in a position where you're a young kid, you have no money, and you basically get banned from everything, right? Of course, he's blowing up now, and he's, you know, getting rewarded for the trials and tribulations that he went through, you know, over the past however many years. But it's just so interesting when you actually sit there and like think about it. Like, it can happen. If you speak about the wrong people at the wrong time and you have no money, you could get fucked up horribly for a long time. And you're not going to be able to recover for that shit for a long time. So it really be happening out here, bro. I'm telling you. Like this political shit, bro, it's not a fucking game, bro. They will destroy your shit if you say the wrong things. You will get fucked up for having the wrong opinions, bro. That's the thing with just politics in general. Like you will get fucked up for having the wrong opinions. You just will.
Nobody even gives me appreciation or respect, even the people who don't like me, for how I fought against this from Bucharest, stuck in a house against the mainstream media machine with no money, all my bank accounts frozen, a judicial system which is questionable, sitting there resisting this massive matrix attack, perhaps the largest one you can name outside of Trump himself. And I managed to beat it by myself. I've seen how powerful our enemy is, which is why I want them gone. I'm ready to take instructions, sir. If Elon or Trump call me and say this needs to end, we need to.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm rating it, bro, because I need you to really sit and think about it. Like, you say something on the internet. Once again, you have not killed anybody. You have not attacked anybody. You have not incited violence on anybody. But you say something you're not supposed to say on the internet at all. Or you have a conversation about something, or you start speaking about something you're not supposed to speak about. They take away your bank account. You cannot speak anywhere on the internet. You can't basically have a career and a skill that you've been building in a lot. Like, let's say you've been building a skill and ability for a long time. You can't even use that skill and ability anymore because you've been banned and taken away everywhere. You get put in jail like Tate for saying the wrong thing for 2 years straight. It's like, bro, like, I don't understand how, I don't think niggas really realize how fucking ridiculous that is. Like, just the jail thing alone. Like, imagine you just have to suddenly go to jail for 2 years and they cannot prove a crime that you committed. But you're in jail for 2 years, bro. 2 years you're in jail. Like, I need, like, I'm saying it over and over again because I need you to really understand. You say something online and then suddenly you have to go to jail for 2 years. Like, I need you to understand how ridiculous that is. You have not committed any crime. There's no evidence. Nobody fucking knows. But you're in jail for 2 years. Like, I don't know how anyone would have that happen to them and not come out and be acting fucking crazy. I think he's actually handled it pretty well, having to go to jail for 2 years. Just because he said something online. I think he handled it very well, personally. Because it's like, nigga, I'd come out that shit. I'm like, look, man, somebody got to get taken care of, my nigga. Like, that, what the fuck? Genuinely. But anyway.
Deal with these people. You need to go on this podcast and say this. I'm ready because these people are evil. They have no conscience. They do not believe in pity or humanity at all. And when they come for you, you're fucked. And any man who wants to watch this and hate.
This is why I keep saying, like, imagine going to jail for 2 years, bro. For no reason, bro. For no reason. Like, completely guilty before proven innocent. That's also why I was saying yesterday with the whole death penalty thing, it's a really slippery slope because it's like, I can just imagine if you really want to enforce something like all these drug dealers, they get the death penalty put on them. I can only imagine like the amount of innocent people that would actually accidentally get sentenced to death on accident through the justice system, you know, especially if they haven't been convicted of a crime at all. I'm like, it's just a dangerous game because we're assuming with something like that, we're like, okay, we implement the death penalty, that our judicial system is going to be ridiculously efficient and fair and send the right people to jail or execute the right people, you know? So that's why that's kind of a slippery slope, bro. This is just what made me think about that shit. Why I'm like, okay, that would be cool because it would get rid of the drug problem. But at the same time, a lot of innocent people would probably accidentally die because our legal system isn't perfectly going to be efficient. So, yeah, I was just thinking back to that, which is why I mentioned that.
Me understand. They came for me first, so they can come for you next. And you can't fight them like I can. Maybe you don't like me. Maybe you think I'm brash or I'm too far. That's fine. But I can fight better than you. And I'm resisting your enemy. I can fight better than you can. And I'm fighting the guy who wants to get you. I am fully committed to destroying this woke garbage. And
yeah, in fact, we'll actually stop right here. And then I'm going to figure out what the other thing I wanted to react to tomorrow. But we'll stop actually right here. And then we'll keep it going because there is some shit that I want to take care of. Like I said, I got some new content-wise that I want to try for YouTube probably Friday or Saturday for sure. I'll probably upload something new on there. So that would be cool. So then last but not least, per usual, I'll just shout out the socials real quick. And I'll pop up out of here. I'll be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm also make sure I got that starting time set up for you niggas. So you guys can always see if I ever move the timer on or anything like that. And then bada boo, bada pow, we'll be out this motherfucker, right? So, all right. Hold on. So first and foremost, fuck with your boy on YouTube. You know, fam, Aliara Gudade, fuck with your boy on here. Be dropping success tips on here all the fucking time. And also the streams go on here too. So if anybody's watching the YouTube stream, appreciate that shit, my nigga. But yeah, fuck with your boy on YouTube, Aliara Gudade. All the success tips that you need here. Literally dropped the video right here on why prep matters more than performance. Because if you prepare extremely well, then you'll always perform super well. So follow your boy on here. And definitely fuck with your boy on Instagram. Same thing, just short form version of me dropping success tips. And also I just do fun little skits too because it's just fun to make them. And I've just done it for a long time, since like 2020. So I fuck with it. So definitely fuck with your boy on here, Aliara Gudade, on Instagram. And then what I'm also streaming on too right now, XXX. Follow your boy X. I just love talking about political shit and other, you know, just important shit, just shit going on in the world. Like X is basically my news, to be real. Like I don't watch any mainstream like news or media like that. So X is basically my news. And then also just tweeting about women and other shit right here. So fuck with your boy on here. Nobody's watching on X right now. So I like my shit because you got to be your number one supporter, of course. And then last but not least, here, mess with your boy on Tick of the Talk, trying to grow on here, trying to build the fam on here, trying to make this shit massive wherever I can, which is why I'm on all the main social platforms. So definitely fuck with your boy on here. Even if you don't have TikTok, download that shit just for your boy so you can fuck with me on here and we keep growing the fam everywhere. Alrighty. So with that being said, if you don't want to do any of that shit, at very, very least, like the video. If you're watching on Rumble, like the Rumble stream. If you're watching on YouTube, like the YouTube stream so more guys can see this shit. You know, make sure that they're expanding their minds and understanding the world a lot more so they could be able to accomplish their goals and live a fulfilling life, of course. So with that being said, fuck with you, fam. Love you, fam. I'll catch you boys tomorrow, 6 p.m.